Let's get ready to rumble!
What's up, my metal friends? Welcome to another Friday night edition of the Electric Circus radio show here at MetalMessiahRadio.com. We are your metal music messiah. I got a special guest with me on the line right now. Okay, here with me tonight we have Ricky Wagner, lead vocalist and guitarist of the band REZET. REZET are a thrash metal band from Germany formed in 2004. Ricky is here to talk with us about his band REZET. Previous offerings by REZET have Gun Will Travel in 2010. In 2012, they did one called Civic Nightmares. 2015, they had End of a Decade DVD out in 2015. Reality is a Lie, previous offering in 2016. You Asked For It EP in 2017. And Deal With It full length in 2019. Ricky, welcome to the Electric Circus radio show here at MetalMessiahRadio.com. How are you doing, brother?
Hey everybody, thanks for having me, and I'm doing awesome. Hope you guys too.
Ricky, tell us about the early beginnings, please, of the band REZET. How did you all get started as a band?
Oh yeah, that's a long story, of course. Eventually, it was even before 2004. It was like when I was about 6th grade, so when I was about 12 years old or so, or maybe 11. I don't remember exactly, but I started playing the guitar with one of my best friends, Torben Schultz. We went to school together, and he started playing the guitar, and I liked that, and I wanted to learn the drums, but my parents thought it would be way too loud, so I picked up a guitar as well. And yeah, we just witnessed all this quote new metal. I don't really like the label terms, but yeah, like the new metal bands that were in the beginning of the 21st century, when there was still, remember MTV, Viva, and all these different shows. And yeah, there were quite a few bands that had electric guitars in it, and we were young teenagers, so we were captivated by it. We weren't listening to any pop music or rap, so we liked anything that was about rock music, and especially the more heavy stuff. And yeah, that was about 2002 or 3. And then I remember, like, his dad, rest in peace, always been a huge Metallica, Priest, Maiden, you name it, fan, and we really started to listen to these tunes when he was in the kitchen or he drove us somewhere by car. And I remember to Torben it was, I don't know what it was, maybe Injustice for All or so, but as soon as I listened to Master of Puppets, the song and the album, it was over for me. I knew where the journey should go for, and then what it was I wanted to do, and I grew my hair, and yeah, that was when I was about 12, 13 years old, about 2003, maybe, yeah. And we always say we formed the band. There isn't an exact formation date. We formed the band when we released our first demo recordings, which was on Halloween 2004. And yeah, then we just, with, you know, kids from the neighborhood, we were kids, yeah, and then we just played and recorded stuff, had first shows, and I remember people were like, who are these freaks? Because we were so, you know, captivated and inspired by old school metal, still are to some degree, and really did something that nobody else, at least in our region, which is rural, very north of Germany, nobody did do this, you know, playing old metal, especially in our age. And so people thought, like, who are these guys? And then I remember, like, so we did demos and played shows here and there, and then there was a real hype revival of new school thrash metal with bands like Municipal Waste, Gamma Bomb, Violator, and more. And that's when people really these were MySpace times. Really started to talk about us, get to know us, and got our first record deal in 2009, and released the first album, Have Gun Will Travel. You said it in 2010, and then touring all over the world followed, and here I am talking about our upcoming 5th album. So this was long, I know, but to make it really short, I could talk for hours and hours and hours.
On January the 29th, 2021, you will come out with Truth in Between. Tell us about Truth in Between and the making of that new offering.
Yeah, it's a 5th record, and it's the 2nd one in our current lineup. We recorded it once again with Heiko Musolf in Hamburg, and he's done stuff with, even Alice Cooper and Deep Purple, but also a lot of different smaller and bigger metal bands. So he really knows what he's doing. So the sound has always been killer, and I think it's really my favorite record we ever did, and everybody in the band says that, and everybody who knew, who already listened to it, like people in our team and the fans who got 2 singles now already, which were Back for No Good in November, and we just released the 2nd single titled Populate, Delete, Repeat. And people say that this stuff is so matured and different, but still REZET. And I can totally agree and relate to it, because we just keep going and developing as musicians, but still,
So we're very glad. Stuff. We're very glad that you continue with the band and everything, and we got a new releases coming out. So very, very cool. Who did the songwriting on the album?
The whole band. Like back in the day, I was the main writer, and now it's like the whole band wrote it, and you can really hear it. It's totally cool. It's such a and we played we recorded the rhythm tracks live as well, which gives it a really natural sound. And then like everybody in the band has credits for writing. It's sounding really real and honest, and just you can hear it as a band playing.
Please tell us about the songwriting, and what are some of the topics you talk about on the album?
Well, there's all kind of different stuff. We've always been a band. I wrote most of the lyrics. I wrote all of them back in the day. Now, all of the guys write a bit, but still mostly me. It's really stuff that matters to me or us. It's less and less science fiction, like on the first records, maybe horror stories or whatever. So it's really, social critic and also about politics, or let's say just stuff that's going on in the world, really stuff that's important to me. It's not always about politics, can be about feelings as well, but we're not about singing about Dungeons and Dragons so much,
Right. Please tell us about the producer of Truth in Between. Is it self-produced, or did you have a producer come in?
No, it's the same like the last album deal with it. Like I said, Heiko Musolf, who did an amazing job in Hamburg, and he worked with such big names, like I say, Alice Cooper and Deep Purple and others. And he's not only working in a great studio, but he's always doing a great job as a producer, and that's something different. To engineer recordings or to produce it, because he's really like a fifth member of the band, you know.
Right. Please tell us who did the cover of Truth in Between, the new offering. Who did the cover art?
His name is Markus Vesper, German artist. He painted previous works for us as well, like the first and second album, and the You Asked for It EP as well. He's totally into science fiction, Lovecraft. He's a big Megadeth fan, like I am. It just suits the music very well.
Who are some of the vocalists of all time that you are inspired by, who made you want to be a lead vocalist, and some of the guitar players that made you want to be a guitarist?
Oh, that's a hard one. I just started playing the guitar by accident, really. And then, like I said, my first real big favorite band was and always been Metallica. So there's always some James Hetfield rhythm in me. And then on the other hand, as soon as I started to get more into Metallica, I found out about Megadeth. And as well, Dave Mustaine's rhythms are, especially when you listen to my early records, there's so much old Megadeth, old Metallica in it, but also like old school Exodus and
Nice.
also some German bands. And it's not, it started with thrash, but it developed in all kinds of musical styles. I listen to like anything that's good music for me. So you have some hard rock here and there. I love Angus Young's playing, and you also have some punk rock here and there. And talking about singers, I just became singer by accident as well. I don't have any role model I follow. Some say I sound like Mustaine at some point of Megadeth, but I'm the better singer. They say, or I sound like Smear of Destruction or this or that. I don't really care about it. What I say is like my favorite frontman / singer of all time will be Bon Scott. That's what I can say, but I wouldn't say I sound too much as like him. I don't know.
Okay, Gear Talk. Tell us about your guitar and the company that makes the guitar, and why do you like that brand of guitar that you play, and any other Pro Tools you love using in recording?
Oi. I used to play all kinds of different guitars. There's maybe some endorsement coming, but I can't say anything. But like I said, all over the years I played different guitars, and with good connections to Gibson guitars, and I played an SG, and now I'm playing a 2018 Flying V, and I really fell in love with it. I don't want to play anything else now, so I'm really stuck on that Gibson Flying V, which is my main guitar. And amps, I'm playing Taurus amplification from Poland. I'm endorsed by them. They really sound like bit of a Marshall meets Engel, and they build amps in pedal board format, but they are tube amps, but you can put them on your pedal board, like under your microphone stand. That really helps, and it's not so much caring for me or the crew. And then I'm totally not the effects guy. Like, I don't use any of this fancy, not even a wah-wah, so I'm just like, really kind of hard-rocking guitar, cable, amp kind of guitar player. And then I'm also endorsed by Ernie Ball, guitar strings, and No Logo picks, guitar picks from Poland.
Cool.
And then, I mean, it's not so much fancy stuff. I played some old Marshall Plexis in the studio, and that's it.
Okay, let's talk about your videos. For one of them, your band REZET did the video on YouTube called Populate, Delete, Repeat official video. Please tell us about it, the location of that video, and who directed it.
Yeah, that's the latest single of the upcoming album. Director was Sebastian Vogt, and his company is called Action Talks. And I think it was his fourth video he already did for us. It's amazing. he came up with the idea of having dancers, and I'm like, oh, holy, I don't want to look like Motley Crue or something. But he had the idea of, he filmed them or was shooting with them before. They were like hip-hop dances, but he likes rock music as well. So he was like, okay, I want those girls because they have real army style of dancing. It's not like cheerleading. You can see it in the video. It's tough. And they're all dressed like soldiers and stuff. And he wanted to do it with cool metal music. So he chose us. And then we have this neon color concept for the whole record. So they got painted in all kind of different neon colors, and us as the band as well. And we shot it in a local famous club, one of the most famous clubs in Hamburg, called the Bambi Galore. Yeah, that was in late summer of this year.
Okay, Ricky, let's play the new single, Populate, Delete, Repeat. Tell us about it before we play the song.
Populate, Delete, Repeat is the second and latest single of our upcoming album, Truth in Between. And I don't want to talk too much about the lyrics. I want everybody to interpret it their way. Right. So just listen to it, read the lyrics, and you surely know. And yeah, I don't have any real favorite songs on the album. I love all of those 13 tracks. So check out Populate, Delete, Repeat, and see for yourself.
All right, my metal friends, we're going to play a brand new track by REZET, one of the new singles on the new album. And we'll be right back with Ricky Wagner, lead guitarist and vocalist of the band REZET, thrash metal band from Germany. Crank it up!
Hi everybody, this is Ricky Wagner of German metal band REZET, and you're listening to J0KeR's Electric Circus on Metal Messiah Radio. Keep going.
MetalMessiahRadio.com. We are your Metal Music Messiah. We're back with Ricky Wagner of the band, the German thrash metal band REZET. Okay, how important is the image to the band? What impression do you want the fans to get of the band, your band REZET?
Whoa, we talked about that before going in the studio because we always have the feeling we don't really have an image or want an image. We started out as a thrash band, and it goes with all kinds of cliches. I mean, I have long hair, I love it, and I love looking like a rock and roller because I feel like one. But we certainly don't want to be a band that's like focusing on looks or lyrics or whatever, you know. We want to be who we are, and that's totally four different characters. And we developed in musically and lyrically and all this stuff. We don't even say we play thrash metal. We started as a thrash band or speed metal or whatever we want to call it, sure. But the music is so much more than just, you know, fast Slayer riffing. So it's hard to say about image, even, you know, I don't even like the word. So it's always like, to me, it's always being in boundaries, you know?
Okay, I'm a huge fan of album art. I'm a huge fan of album art and having the physical copy in my hands. How important is
Cool.
it to you to have the right artwork for your albums?
Oh, it is, but we try different stuff. We also like to shock people, and but yeah, I love physical stuff as well. So the artwork is important. That's why I'm so happy with the new album's artwork for Truth in Between.
Okay, the album cover for Truth in Between, what is that album cover about? It's got a skull on there, and it's got like blue colors in it, and it's got purples in it. What is that artwork about?
Same as with the lyrics, I don't want to say too much because everybody should have his or her own, you know, interpretation for it.
Right.
To make it kind of short, you really have to look at the cover twice or three times or even more. It's so detailed. We wanted it this way. Yeah, to make it really short, to me the meaning is about freedom of speech and most of all about tolerance and tolerating other opinions, you know.
How important is it to be signed by a record label? What can they do for the band that you can't do for yourself?
Well, stuff like this interview, you know.
Right. Mm-hmm.
They do good promotion, of course. They do the pressing of CD not only, but also vinyl, which is very, you know, that's not cheap at all. It's expensive. We have worldwide distribution. We have the press, all the stuff. But we still do a lot of stuff on our own kind of thing, but not in a DIY way. But we have a big team, you know, of managements and all this stuff. It's not only the label, but yeah, you can do stuff on your own totally without a label. But if you do, it's even way more work, and I don't want to even more work than I have now.
Right. How much of a touring band are you guys? How hard is it to get gigs outside of your country in Germany?
Oh, we're touring. Before COVID-19, we were touring like for the last records up to 15 weeks a year or so, maybe. So it was not only Germany. We toured, I think, whole Europe in the past and US once in 2015, West Coast.
Nice.
We did China,
Oh, wow.
Russia, yeah, Europe, like I said. So a lot. I'm the touring guy, musician. You know, I'm not the sitting at home writing at the computer kind of guy or studio guy. I like being creative a lot, but most of the time I'm doing it for the show, you know.
Where do you see your band in the near future and your goals to where you want to be as a band moving forward?
Yeah, we just try our best. I mean, these times are hard and complicated with COVID-19, but we just keep going, or I just keep going, and yeah, try to enjoy it, have fun, and we're gonna release the album late January, and then we see what will happen.
Yes, you mentioned touring and everything. You toured various countries, everything in Europe and China and West Coast United States. Tell us about those festivals and gigs you did and some of the bands you shared the stage with and some of your fondest experiences of touring.
Oh, like I said, first album 2010, so you can imagine there's been a lot of touring. So many great bands and people I had the honor to get known. That's one of the main positive things I like about being in a touring band, traveling to all those great countries and meeting all those awesome people. And yeah, memories that I want to share. Um, I remember a first very big tour. I mean, we started with small headline tours of 2 weeks for the first two records or so,
Mm-hmm.
like in small, very small clubs. But then for the third record, we got a new management. We still are on now, and they got us a tour with Anvil through Europe for 6.5 weeks. So that was the biggest tour we ever did through Europe by then, and that's really in my history books because I learned a lot from it. And then right after we got home, like a month later, we got on tour 2 weeks with Destruction. We're really good friends with them as well. That was my first Nightliner bus tour. So these are two of very fond memories. But also, like you said, the tour in China like 2 years ago, that was so different, so strange, but also so cool. The US tour in 2015, and that was great as well. And so much. It's just hard to summarize, but yeah, some of the stuff I just told you.
Ricky, please discuss with us how do you interact to the fans on social media, like on Facebook, and what kind of reset show, like a new fan goes to your show for the first time. What kind of reset show would the fans get also?
Well, I hope a good one. It's intense. Um, yeah, we play a song. We have some. It became more and more stuff on the stage. Not only the four guys, but some, some not only stage acting, but props. And we always want to do like the best set list of like a best of all the songs we've written. And yeah, we have some fancy plans for shows we could do with a new album, but let's see if this is possible or not. And you said something about social media,
Yes, how do
Facebook or
you
something?
interact with the fans with the new release and social media like Facebook and Twitter and pages like that?
Yeah, you can find us everywhere: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I always recommend our homepage, which is www.reset, right, with a Z, right, .de, which is for Germany, and then you find all the social media links in the top of the page as well.
Do you and will you guys reset? Will you have merchandise like T-shirts and vinyl copies of the album, also stuff like that?
Yeah, and this time we came up with a lot of merch. So shirts, vinyl, CDs, and different bundles. That's very cool. You can already pre-order them. Go to our homepage or Facebook, you'll find it. And So it's way cheaper when you pre-order. So we have like vinyl bundles with shirt, a vinyl, a guitar pick, autograph cards. We have the same with girly t-shirts, CDs. Just check it out, and the album's artwork will be so killer to have it on a shirt. I can't wait to have my hands on one.
Right. What is your thoughts on the music industry today, Ricky?
New music of today.
Yeah, what is your thoughts on the new music of today?
Pah. I mean, the internet gives us opportunities to check out all kinds of different styles, which is great because I grew up prior internet myself, and it was hard to get music. You had CD and vinyl or tapes, but I had the feeling it was way more special when you were like, as a kid, riding with a bike for half an hour to pick up a CD or so. So you just listen to the same album for half a year. And now I'm a bit sad that music is like so, it's just, for many people, it's something that's happening in the background when they do whatever. Because to me, it's the most important thing in the world, music. But there's great bands. There's a lot of pop music and stuff. That's not my cup of tea, but everybody should listen to what he or she likes. But I'm a rocker guy, and I also like blues and jazz or classical stuff, but mostly I'm listening to rock music, heavy metal, punk, and stuff. And there are great new bands, but to be honest, most of the time I'm listening to the classics from the 70s or 80s, because I think that's what we wanted to try as well. They just, they didn't label themselves, and they just tried out different stuff, and that's what made them special. They didn't want to be a copy of them of another band of their time, and they had to record live because there wasn't all this digital fancy recording Pro Tools stuff. So it was really like either you can play or you can't, and then it showed. And nowadays we have all opportunities to just fake, like a lot of metalcore bands. They sound like perfect robot computers, and when you see them live, it's like you're at the kindergarten. So that's something that I don't like about modern music, but then again, it's a lot of opportunities. I'm living like in the nowhere of northern Germany, very small place, and I don't know if I'd had the opportunity to travel the whole world to get my band known like years ago, when I wouldn't live in like Berlin or Hamburg or Los Angeles or so. I mean, internet is curse and also opportunity at the same time, and it shows in the way we're consuming and writing music, if you know what I mean.
Exactly, absolutely. And how are you and the band mates dealing with the COVID pandemic and lockdown? What are you doing in your spare time? Maybe writing new material for the future?
Yeah, not now. Now we're promoting the new album. We know it's like coming out next month, so there's a lot to do. Like I said, this weekend we just shot the third single video for the album, and we wrote it when all this COVID-19 stuff began, like in spring of this year. We were meant to go to Russia for 2 weeks, so it couldn't happen. We said, okay, we have a lot of songs, just let's focus on the album. And then we wrote and wrote and wrote because there was nothing else to do. And then we got in the studio, and that's about it. But now it's promoting, and then hopefully maybe play some streaming shows. We don't know yet, but we hope to get to the road as soon as possible again next year.
Please tell us about any upcoming shows, if you have any lined up for 2021, sometime in 2021.
What do you mean? Yeah, we have some moved ones from this year, German shows in Germany, you know, and we have some offers for touring, like great support slot tours and others, festivals. Um, yeah, if it's possible to tour, and with a great album on top, I think it could be a great 2021 for us. But let's be realistic. We have to plan, but we shouldn't plan too much, you know.
Right, I understand. Please give shout outs to your fans. And what would you like to say in closing here? Things you haven't been able to say yet, you would love to say to the fans, and shout outs to the fans out there.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. It was an honor. Thanks to everybody listening to Metal Messiah Radio. Thanks to all the Reset Bangers from the US. We really love to come back. We just been there one after a second album, like I said, in 2015. And we wanted to come back this year because we released our last album last year. So we always do Europe. And this year it should have been overseas, but you know why we couldn't make it. So we really want to come back as soon as possible. And yeah, check out our latest single, Popularity Lead Repeat, so you know what the new album will be about. And Truth in Between will be released late January. And I hope you all like it and we see each other soon.
Ricky,
Stay healthy and sane.
Ricky, it's been an honor and a pleasure having you on the show with us tonight here on Joker's Electric Circus at MetalMessiahRadio.com. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule for doing this interview with us, and you guys are more than welcome to come back on the show when you want to promote something new in the future.
Cool, thank you too.
You're very welcome.